Kia ora, good evening. Prime Minister Helen Clark's got personal even before the 2005 election campaign begins by claiming National leader Don Brash can't be trusted on foreign policy. And Brash appears to have obliged by refusing to answer repeated questions from 3 News on whether he would have sent troops to Iraq if he was Prime Minister. Political reporter Duncan Garner is at Parliament and he joins me now. Duncan.
Well, Helen Clark has picked on an area that she perceives Don Brash to be weakened, and Brash's response was most unconvincing. Helen Clark gave the royal wave as Labour Party faithful flocked to hear her in Hamilton. Billed as an attack on Don Brash, she didn't mess around, attacking his credibility and record on foreign policy matters.
2 years ago, there was a war in Iraq. And our government took a decision on principle that that war was wrong and we wouldn't have any part of it and we wouldn't send young people to fight in it because it was wrong. What did Dr. Brash say? If I'd been President Bush, I'd have done the same thing.
It comes on the same day that Labour took out these ads in newspapers around the country and these posters on Wellington's Lambton Quay highlighting what Brash has said on Iraq. Behind in the polls, Clark appears to have decided to get personal, indicating that Brash can't be trusted. Are you saying in your speech this morning that New Zealanders can't trust Don Brash, they can't trust what he's saying?
I'm saying this issue is going to be about credibility and who you can trust to do what they say they'll do.
Brash says Clark's attack is a diversion, but he repeatedly refused to answer our questions on Iraq.
Would you have sent troops to Iraq?
I say this is a diversionary tactic by Helen Clark that's not relevant.
But would you have sent troops to Iraq, Dr. Brash?
The issue right now, today, is about Labour's wasting hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money.
My question was, would you have sent troops to Iraq if you were the Prime Minister?
And I'm telling you that the real issue today is not that issue in the past. That's essentially gone.
But it is the question I'm asking you today, though.
And I'm saying to you the key issue today is the fact that government is wasting hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayers' money. That's the issue the media should be focused on.
What about answering my question? As Prime Minister, would you have sent troops to Iraq, given some of the flyers that are out today by the Labour Party?
Look, the Labour Party is desperately harking back to issues which are no longer relevant at all.
So are you saying you're not prepared to answer that question about whether you would have sent troops to Iraq or not?
That's not the issue today. The issue today...
But it is the issue because I'm asking you it.
Well, I'm sorry. I want to focus on the issue which is important right now to taxpayers, and that's waste of government spending to a huge degree.
Well, Duncan, is this a new strategy for Helen Clark? And if so, are we going to see more of it?
Well, yes, it is. In the wake of the tax debate, which it appears that Labour has effectively lost to date, what her strategists have done is that, Helen Clark rates highly in the polls on trust and credibility. So what they're trying to do is attack Don Brash's record of what he has said in the past and pinpoint those areas where perhaps he's weakened or perhaps areas that he struggles to either defend or get a solid line on. Today there were ads in the paper and the flyers down the street. He quite frankly should have had a position prepared for when the media came knocking this afternoon. He didn't, and I think voters would probably find that unacceptable, that he didn't have some sort of position 2 years on, and especially, of course, in the wake of the London bombings. Hillary.